Before I started this channel, I asked myself some hard questions. Could I produce unique content? YouTube is a huge place. The amount of content is staggering. There are tons of machining and how-to channels already. Do I really have the domain knowledge to present this content? Or will I be yet another hack with a camera? Could I make videos of any quality? I really had no face time with a camera, just a bunch of family videos that never get watched or edited. Would the content I produce be useful to anyone? What is the point of all of this work to shoot and edit if it does not serve a purpose? Could people find my content that would be interested in it? If you can't find it, the efforts are a lost cause. And last, would anyone actually care to watch it? This is the answer to some of those questions, and the first goal. This calls for some machining work. We're going to start our part by actually machining the back of it. We're going to use a 3-inch shell mill to just take a finish pass off of the back of the stock. We're only taking about 10 thou off, and we're moving about 25 inches per minute. About a 2 thou chip load. We want to get a real nice surface finish for our final part. After the face mill, we're going to switch to a 3/4 rougher. We're going to rough the final outside dimension for the part. We're moving about 50 inches per minute with the 3/4 rougher. This is only a high-speed steel tool, so we gotta take it a little bit easy with it. After the rougher, we're going to follow that up with a finish pass with a standard end mill. We're moving about 30 inches per minute here, keeping the chip load low, so again we're going after a really nice surface finish here. We're going to take one pass around to get rid of the rest of the material that the rougher left over, and then we'll take a spring pass to go around to really get that surface finish nice. The last operation for the rear of the part is going to be to chamfer it. We're going to put a 40 thou chamfer all the way around so we get nice beveled edges. Now we'll complete the back machining of the part. We'll flip it over and do the front. We flipped our part over, put it back in the vise. Now we're going to work on the finished side of the part. We've got to remove a lot of the stock off. The total height of the part is only 3/8 of an inch. So we have our 3-inch shell mill again. This time we're going to be in a roughing mode, so we're running at 100 inches a minute. We're using a 1.4-inch step over, and we're taking 60 thou of material per pass. So it's a fairly aggressive cut. We didn't go too aggressive because we don't have a lot of this material to hang on to in the vise. After the roughing cut, we'll do a similar finish pass as we did with the back of the part. After we rough the top down to the right dimension, we're going to switch to a 2-inch diameter face mill, and this is a 90-degree face mill so that we can actually machine up to dimensions on the sides as well. We're going to machine out the play arrow here. Now throughout this cut, we were getting warning signs that the setup was not very happy. It was trying to chatter a little bit the whole time. And then this is where we came off the tracks. Stop. Okay. That's chatter. Nothing ever good comes out of chatter. When you get chatter, you need to stop, regroup, take a different approach.
So let's do that. If you push through chatter, you won't get good parts. You'll be lucky if your tooling makes it out alive. And if it's really bad with a large cutter, you could tear out your spindle bearings or something else in the machine. So stop. We're going to do that. Let's regroup and we'll come back to it.
To resolve the chatter issue, I chose to switch tools and go with a 3/4 inch end mill rather than the facing mill. The inserts I was using in the face mill were causing a downward force on the part, and because it's so thin it was just deflecting out of the way. Now I could have also resolved this by trying to change the feeds and speeds for the face mill, but there was so much chatter I didn't think that would be a good resolution. I could have also held the part differently and changed the work holding setup, but I figured this was the quickest means to the end to make the part. So we're using a 3/4 inch mill, 30 inches per minute, and I'm only doing about 100 thou step over to finish up machining this part. Now even still with this little cutter, you can hear it squealing just a little tiny bit, and I believe that's being caused by the part deflecting upward into the cutter, and there's a little bit of rubbing going on. So after we finished machining the most of the material off, we switched to a 3/32 end mill, and now we're going to machine the inset numbers. So we're using adaptive clearing with a 20 thou target chip load to machine the numbers out, and then we'll do a profile around it to clean it up. After we finished our numbers, we're going to switch back to a 1/4 inch chamfer mill and put a 40 thou chamfer around the arrow and the outside diameter of the part. It'll give a nice beveled edge. Then last, we're going to switch to an 1/8 inch chamfer mill. We'll put a 10 thou chamfer on the numbers, and then this chamfer mill is ground to a point, so I can use this tool to do the engraving of the Atman Unlimited logo. And that should finish up the operations for the part.
So there you have it. There's the machining of our 100 subscribers play button. All right. We did have that little bit of chatter issue here that we had to deal with. It wasn't too bad. We were able to stop, and then we regrouped, used an end mill instead of a facing mill. So this tool marks, that's probably somewhere between a 64 and a 32 finish. You can't feel it with your nail, so it's pretty good. I just touched it with a little bit of 800 grit wet sanding paper here, and the tool marks just completely disappear. So I'm just gonna go over this real light and then polish it up so it really shines, and then we'll add some bling into the lettering. So that's the next step. Show you how easy this is going to be to clean up. A little bit of 800 grit wet sanding paper, so that's all we'll need, and then from 800 grit we can go right into a polish. So a little bit of water, you can see how quickly the tool marks just disappear. So you can see almost all the tool marks. Oops, sorry about that. You can see almost all the tool marks are gone already, just from a little bit. So we'll get up here on the edge real good. This would have been even better if we could have finished using the facing mill, but we did not have enough rigidity. Okay. So you get the idea. I'm going to finish up. This will probably take about maybe 10 minutes or so to finish up, and then we'll get out the polish. Sanding is complete. You can see all the tool marks are gone. All we have left to do is polish. So let's go get some polish. Polish, part, terry cloth. You take your polish, you put it on your rag, and you rub it on the part. And you do this until it's nice and shiny. So you can see it's turning nice and shiny. Well, there you go. We're all polished up. There's still some waviness and there's a lot of micro scratches in it. I didn't go all the way up to 2000 grit or buff it. We just polished it after 800 grit. But for what it is, it looks pretty darn good. Polished the backside a little bit. You can see the tool marks still from the face mill on the backside. Next we're going to see if we can really make it pop with some color.
I'm using an acrylic ink to add some contrast to the part. I'm using a really fine brush and I'm filling the entire groove that was left by the chamfer mill. The groove is approximately 15 thousandths wide by about 8 thousandths deep. It's okay if you get a little bit of the ink on the surface of the part that we polished. It's easy to come off. The ink doesn't stick to the polished part. But if you get the wrong color in the groove, it's pretty hard to get it out of the groove. For the larger volumes, I used a syringe and then injected a certain amount of ink into the cavity and then just used the brush to smooth it out.
I want to thank everybody who's been watching my videos since we started the channel. Everybody on YouTube says that the first 100 subscribers is the hardest, and we got there fairly quickly, faster than I ever thought I would. I really had doubts making this channel on if anybody would actually watch it. So thank you for watching it. I hope it's good content. I hope you enjoy the content. If you have some suggestions for content, or there's content that you would like to see that you can't find, let me know. I'm more than happy to take requests for content, and we'll see if we can make some content. If you like the play button that we made here, I tried to contact the actual 100th subscriber unsuccessfully. So if you were subscribed to this channel before the previous video ahead of this one, then send me an email and I'll see if I can send you the play button. I only made one, there's only one, so if 100 people send me an email asking for the play button, it's going to be first come first serve. So if you want the play button, let me know and I'll ship it to you. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the future videos. Maybe we'll make a button for 1,000 subscribers next.